vibrant, bright music, delicious food, and of course, the beautiful Katrina. Ichabod danced and laughed and had a merry time. As the night came to an end, talk turned to the haunting tale of the legendary Headless Horseman. Soon, dreading the long ride home, Ichabod nervously said his goodbyes and ventured off. It was the witching hour when Ichabod began his travel homeward. As the warm glow from the party faded and the moonlight crept in, Ichabod's unease increased. The night grew darker and the stars sunk deeper into the sky. Each twitch of a tree and hoot of an owl sent his imagination running wild. All the stories of ghosts Ichabod had heard at the party came back to him as he neared the church where the Headless Horseman was said to have been buried. Shadows at the graveyard's edge, Ichabod thought he saw something huge, misshapen, and towering, like some gigantic monster ready to leap upon him. The schoolteacher gathered his courage and hollered. Who was there? The figure did not respond, but slipped deeper into the tangle of black branches. A shiver ran down Ichabod's spine. Could what he saw be the dreaded Headless Horseman? Ichabod began whistling to calm his nerves. Surely the partygoers' tales of ghosts were just that. Stories, legends. A Headless Horseman, impossible. It's just a story, Ichabod. Don't be foolish, he told himself. Shadow in the trees. It was him, the Headless Horseman himself. Ichabod pressed his heels into his horse's sides and leaned in close to his neck. "Ya, Gunsmoke, ride! Faster than ever! Go!" The old horse responded, its rider, and sped forward, tearing wildly through the darkness. After a few moments, the dense woods began to clear. The horse slowed its pace, but Ichabod's heart was still beating hard. He pushed out a long-held breath to calm himself. Certainly he must be close to home by now. In the rush to escape the frightening encounter, Ichabod and his steed had left the familiar path. The schoolteacher had no idea where he was. He'd never been in this part of Sleepy Hollow. He wanted only to be rid of the horrible vision he'd just seen. But the ghost was relentless. Ichabod sped on, terrified. Horseman, but there was no doubt now, that was who was chasing him, must hold rein in these woods. To Ichabod's horror, he spied along the tree line a haunted encampment, surely made by the wretched soldier ghost himself. Were these former victims? More haunts prepared to ferry him away? How could he escape? He recalled somehow through his veil of fear, the bridge. That was what the legend said. If he could make it to the old covered bridge, Ichabod would be safe. It was the one place the ghost could not pass. Desperate, tired, and full of terror, he peered through the darkness, and a spark of hope rose in his heart. Just beyond the trees, he thought he saw in the moonlight the shape of the bridge up ahead. Was in sight, if only only Ichabod could lose the ghost, who seemed intent on taking his head. He kicked again at his horse and sped on. If I can but reach that bridge, Ichabod vowed, I am safe.
Here he comes! He's chasing after us! Look out!
Ichabod thundered over the planks and cast a look behind to see if his pursuer should vanish, according to the rule, in a flash of fire and brimstone. Instead, the terrifying ghost was still in pursuit. It hurled its head at Ichabod like a missile, striking him with so much force he was thrown from his horse and tumbled to the road as the Headless Horseman thundered past. The next morning, Ichabod's horse was found, but the school teacher was nowhere in sight. The townsfolk searched for him, but nothing was found except his familiar hat. The old country wives maintain to this day that he was spirited away by supernatural means, and the tale of the Headless Horseman and his last victim is a favorite told round the evening fire. Though, is it just a story?